Hey guys, what's going on? It's MJ's Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au. Awesome Raw Review for the viewers at home today on an all new stimulant-free fat burner from our good friends at Rule 1. It is, of course, Rule 1, lean in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you exactly what it's going to do, show you exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. Tiny little tub, small nutritional information panel. That ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Rule 1 lean stim-free fat burner. Luckily, big ass nutritional information panel appearing on screen so you guys can play along at home. Starting from the top, serving size about 1 scoop, 6 grams. Got yourself about 30 of them 1 scoop, 6 gram bitches in every single one of these Rule 1 lean tub bitches. It is 30 full serves per tub, so it's 1 scoop per serve, 6 grams per scoop, 1 scoop per serve. It's not like a 2 scoop serve thing. It's 1 scoop is 1 full serve, and you get 30 of those 6 gram full serve scoops in each and every tub of the lean. So if you're taking it each and every day, it's a full month supply. If we do a quick addition, we add up all of the active ingredients, we quickly discover there's just over 4 grams of actives in each and every scoop, spread across 12 active ingredients, 2 of which are trademarked, and we'll get to those in a second. So we're dealing with about 67% active ingredients, only 33% flavors, sweeteners, colors, and inactives. We're off to a very good start. Now, in terms of what those active ingredients are and how they synergistically work together to get you lean without the use of stimulants, the 3 main effects that we look for in stim-free fat burners, three to 4, I'm going to say, but let's go with 3, and we'll elaborate from there. The first one is to increase fat metabolism or lipolysis, so actually get our body to oxidize stored body fat as a source of energy. The second effect is increasing metabolic output and thermogenesis, so get our bodies to increase our caloric output effectively, push us further into caloric deficit. And the third is increasing feeling of well-being, mood, mental focus, that kind of nootropic effect that stands alone from stimulants. So we're not talking, this is a stim-free fat burner, viewers at home. We're not talking about caffeine or other stimulants. We're talking about that nootropic effect that is independent of caffeine. Elevation in mood, elevation in feeling of well-being, a little bit of mental focus. Those are the 3 main effects. And then the fourth one, that is kind of like a nice to have, specifically in a stim-free fat burner, because you're not going to have the inherent appetite suppression effect that comes along with caffeine and other stimulants. It's a nice effect to have a little bit of appetite control in a stim-free fat burner as well. So those are the 3 to 4 effects. Let's go through them one by one and see how this formula stacks up. Effect number 1, increased fat metabolism and lipolysis. We have a big dose of L-carnitine tartrate, 1.5 grams, 1500 milligrams. That's going to help us mobilize stored body fat and really use that body fat as a source of energy. We then also have decaffeinated green tea leaf extract. So we're going to jump down the panel a little bit, 100 milligrams. That's a good dose, although it's not standardized for the active ingredient, which is ECGC, epigallocatechin gallate, which helps to increase fat oxidation. We do have nice synergism between these 2 ingredients. So when it comes to fat metabolism, I mean, that big dose of L-carnitine tartrate would give us a tick straight away. And then we've got the addition of this decaffeinated green tea leaf extract, although not standardized, is going to help with lipolysis as well. So we get a nice tick for that first effect. On to effect number 2. Increased metabolic output and thermogenesis. We have our first trademarked ingredient, capsicum fruit extract, as the registered trademark Capsimax, 25 milligrams. This is towards the lower end of the dosing range of 25 to 50 milligrams. Capsimax contains capsaicinoids, which is going to help increase thermogenesis. It's going to heat us up. It's going to increase fat oxidation. It's going to increase metabolic output. It is a spectacular stimulant-free fat burning ingredients. Very happy to have that in this formula. In combination with the very next ingredient on the nutritional panel, which is the Grains of Paradise seed extract, 20 milligrams, although not standardized for the active ingredient, which is 6-paradol. It is in here in a 20 milligram dose, so we can't really say too much about, because it's not standardized, is that a good dose or not? 20 milligrams is a reasonable dose, but we need to be standardized. Regardless, this ingredient, the 6-paradol, is going to stimulate brown fat thermogenesis, leading to a greater caloric burn at rest in particular. It's going to help increase our metabolic output at rest, going to increase our metabolic output during activity, of course, and going to help increase our total caloric deficit by increasing our caloric output. Once again, nice synergism between these two ingredients. We get a tick for effect number 2, increasing thermogenesis and metabolic output. Effect number 3, increasing feeling of well-being, mental focus, mood, and overall nootropic effect. We only have the one ingredient in this formula that touches on this. It's L-tyrosine in a 500 milligram dose. It's towards the lower end of generally what we like to see with L-tyrosine. And acetyl L-tyrosine, which is the acetyl chain of L-tyrosine in a 500 milligram dose is bang on. But pure L-tyrosine, we like to see about 1 gram. So we're at about a half dose there. Tyrosine is a precursor to L-dopa, which is a precursor to dopamine, which helps boost mood and feeling of well-being. That's really the only direct nootropic ingredient we have in this formula. So we're going to go half a tick. We're going to go 2.5 out of 3 and the half a tick for that nootropic effect. Effect number 4. Now this is the nice to have. This is the appetite suppression side of things. We've got a couple of ingredients helping us out here. The first one is apple cider vinegar powder in a 500 milligram dose. It's going to contain acetic acid, which is the active ingredient, although once again not standardized for acetic acid. Acetic acid is a very cool active ingredient. It reduces blood glucose uptake by slowing carbohydrate digestion and absorption in particular, which means it's going to help regulate blood sugar, support more stable insulin levels. More stable insulin means less fat storage and improved fat mobilization just from a fat metabolism perspective, but it also means better appetite control. So it's going to help with appetite suppression. That's not all. We then also have Garcinia cambogia extract in a 300 milligram dose. The active ingredient we're looking for here is hydroxycitric acid, also known as HCA. Once again, it's not standardized for that, so we're not sure exactly how much of it we're getting. But hydroxycitric acid, HCA, helps increase satiety, which is the feeling of fullness, by influencing serotonin levels in the brain, which is a slight nootropic effect. Actually, it kind of does cross over with tyrosine a little bit when we talk about dopamine and serotonin, but that's not the primary reason for using HCA. It inhibits ATP citrase lyase, which is the enzyme involved in converting excess carbohydrates into fatty acids. By slowing this process down, the HCA is going to help reduce the storage of dietary carbs and improve nutrient partitioning. It's going to stabilize insulin levels, very similar to the acetic acid we're getting from the apple cider vinegar powder. It's going to help control appetite. It's going to help suppress appetite. So between these two ingredients, once again, some really nice synergism for that fourth bonus effect, which is appetite suppression and appetite control. So we're going to get a tick there. So we're at 3.5 out of 4 effects that we look for in stimulant-free, caffeine-free fat burners. We then also have some additional bits and pieces. We've got vitamin B6, 1.7 milligrams, vitamin B12, 2.4 micrograms to support natural energy production. Obviously, this is a stim-free fat burner, so there's no caffeine or other stimulants in here, so a little bit of natural energy production is nice. We got taurine, 800 milligrams for electrolyte balance and hydration in combination with coconut fruit water powder, which is going to once again yield electrolytes, 250 milligrams to help with electrolyte balance and hydration. And then finally, we have the black pepper fruit extract, our final registered trademarked ingredient as bioperin in a full 5 milligram clinical dose, which is going to help with absorption of all of the active ingredients across all 12 of the actives in the Rule 1 Lean. It is a very comprehensive, stimulant-free, caffeine-free, fat loss support formula 3.5 out of the 4 effects that we look for are very well covered off. In terms of what it's missing, if we're going to play devil's advocate, as we like to do in raw reviews and kind of pick formulas apart, I would like to see some GBB in here to further boost fat metabolism in combination with the L-carnitine tartrate. In combination with the decaffeinated green tea leaf extract would just be a nice addition to really boost that effect up. I'd love to see something additional to help with increasing metabolic output, some coleus forskolii, standardized for forskolin, some synephrine, a bit of orange extract would be nice just to boost that metabolic output. That being said, that's going to work really nicely with the Capsimax that's already in here and the grains of paradise, which does a great job of covering that effect off anyway. And then finally, the big gap. Obviously, we got half a tick from the nootropic effect. I'd love to see some more nootropics in here. Some choline of some sort. Alpha GPC would be amazing. Citicoline in combination with some huperzine A to boost mental focus in particular. A little bit more tyrosine or some N-acetyl L-tyrosine, something to help with that mood. That's the effect that's kind of missing, especially in a stim-free fat burning formula. So that's what I would like to see in this formula to kind of round out that nootropic effect. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, it comes in 4 flavors, viewers at home. 4. Man, we don't see that. Usually that spread of flavors across a stim-free fat burner. It comes in blue, raz, lemonade. It comes in guava, lemonade. A couple of lemonade flavors right from the top. It comes in mandarin mango. It comes in pineapple passion fruit. My personal tub right here. Love me some pineapple. Love me some passion fruit. Infamous MJ's Taste and Mixability test about to go down. This is my personal tub. I have 10 ounces of water in the infamous double wall glass with a spoon. That's because the directions say mix 1 scoop with 8 to 12 ounces of cold water. This is cold water, bang in the middle, 10 ounces. I will tell you guys right from the top, a level scoop is supposed to weigh 6 grams. This is what a level scoop looks like. I have weighed it. It weighs exactly 6 grams. Bravo, rule 1. They do not miss. 6 gram scoop. Let it rain. Let it rain. Ooh. A few flicks of the wrist. I'm going to show you guys how it mixes and refresh my memory on how this pineapple passion fruit tastes, man. It's about that time for my stim-free fat burner as well. Mid-afternoon, perfect timing. As you guys can see there, it is perfectly mixed. No floaters, no sinkers. Even if I was to leave it there for hours on end, it is not going to separate. It mixes perfectly. I would go so far as to say turbo ball is not required for the Rule 1 lean. Pineapple passion fruit about to go down. That speaks volumes. The flavor's unbelievable. I love doing raw reviews on Rule 1 supplements because I love their flavors. Their flavors are unreal. Rule 1 lean is absolutely no exception. All of the flavors across the board, I've tried all 4 of them. I really like all 4 of them. They're really, look how easy that was to drink, viewers at home. Smashed it, literally. If I had to rank them, pineapple passion fruit for me is the GOAT. After that, I'd probably go the lemonade flavors. Blue raz lemonade edges out guava. I'm not a huge fan of guava, just personally. So I go blue raz lemonade, then guava, and then you guys know I don't get down with citrus. The mandarin mango, although I love mango, is much more mandarin than it is mango, which of course is citrus, so not my cup of tea. That being said, you really can't go wrong. All 4 flavors are just an absolute delight to drink. In terms of the effects, because that's why we're taking our stim-free fat burner, viewers at home. You guys know you have to be in a caloric deficit, or else do not waste your time, your effort, your hard-earned dollars on any fat-burning supplement, whether it's stim, stim-free, mid-stim, high-stim, no, it doesn't matter. You have to be in a caloric deficit, which means your caloric output needs to be greater than your caloric input in a 24-hour period over a sustained period of time. If you're not in a caloric deficit, ain't gonna lose fat. If you are in a caloric deficit, this is where the Rule 1 Lean comes into its own. The elevation in mood and feeling of well-being is, you don't really notice it, to be completely honest. It's not really noticeable, not surprising with the 500 milligrams of tyrosine. You just don't, there's nothing really there from a nootropic perspective. So kind of just push that out the side. That's not an effect you're gonna get from the Rule 1 Lean. The thermogenic effect is good. You definitely, I can feel it right now, like heating up, but it's not too much. It's not like you're dripping in a pool of sweat. It's not anxiety inducing. You do feel the elevation in body temperature, the elevation in thermogenesis, but it's still kind of pleasant. It's definitely noticeable, but it is pleasant. The big thing that you are gonna notice, aside from actual fat loss, if you're in a caloric deficit, that's the whole point of taking the product, goes without saying. The big thing you are gonna notice is the effect on your appetite. This Rule 1 Lean crushes your appetite. It really does. Like, it's significant, the effect that it has. And it's really the two ingredients. It's the Garcinia cambogia and apple cider vinegar. But it's significant. Like, you actually get to a point where it's like, I was super hungry because I'm in a caloric deficit. I took my Rule 1 Lean, and 30 minutes later, I'm not hungry anymore. It's weird. It's good, especially if you struggle with hunger when you're in a caloric deficit, but that is probably the most noticeable effect that you are going to notice with the Rule 1 Lean, aside from fat loss over time in combination with the caloric deficit, of course. In terms of the side effects, really the only thing that you need to be cautious of is that effect on your appetite. So obviously, being part of a caloric deficit, you're restricting your caloric intake, you're increasing your caloric output, but you don't want to forget to eat, right? So, and I think that this is the type of supplement where you may forget to eat. So just be cautious of that. The effect on your appetite is really significant. So far as stackability is concerned, obviously it can be stacked with a stimulant-based fat burner. That's how a lot of stim-free fat burners are designed. The one thing that I would be cautious of is the thermogenic effect, because if you start adding more thermogenics, you are gonna really kind of err on that side of sitting in a pool of sweat. So just be cautious of that if you are stacking it with a stimulant-based fat burner. It does stack really well with Rule 1 stim-based fat burner, which is Rule 1 Burn. We do have a raw review on that particular product on the channel as well, so go check that out. And you can use those at the same time. You can use Burn in the morning, Lean in the afternoon, like I am today. You can. It's quite a nice stack with flexibility in that regard. What does it compare to? Not too many stim-free fat burners on the market these days, viewers at home. It is a very unique category of supplement. That being said, in Australia, we do have two quite good ones. The first one from EHP Labs, OxyShred Non-Stim. The other one from Honest, Hyperburn, caffeine-free. Let's see how it stacks up. OxyShred Non-Stim up first. OxyShred Non-Stim fat metabolism effect is similar, and that really comes down to the ingredients that we're seeing in the OxyShred Non-Stim. OxyShred Non-Stim metabolic output and thermogenesis, in my opinion, is not as good as the Rule 1 Lean. I think the Rule 1 Lean edges it out. OxyShred feeling of well-being, mood, and mental focus is very similar, meaning that there's not really much of an effect there across both products. OxyShred appetite suppression, nowhere near as good. Rule 1 Lean just kicks it out of the complete park. So Rule 1 Lean, better for thermogenesis, metabolic output, and appetite suppression. OxyShred, similar for fat metabolism, similar for nootropic effect. I think if you stack them up against each other, the effects on Rule 1 Lean are more significant. OxyShred Non-Stim has only 3 flavors, whereas Rule 1 Lean has 4. All of the OxyShred flavors are in traditional OxyShred fashion, absolutely delicious. They are sweet, they're punchy, EHP nail all of their flavors is kind of what they're known for. That being said, I do think the Rule 1 Burn flavors are slightly more mild, and like I couldn't have smashed an OxyShred Stim Free that quickly. So I think that probably speaks volumes for just how easy to drink the Rule 1 Lean is. OxyShred Non-Stim is the same price, but you get twice the number of scoops. So you get 60 scoops. It is obviously a better value for money, more entry level stim-free fat burner in terms of the effects, in terms of the flavors, in terms of the overall experience. Let's jump over to Honest Hyperburn Caffeine Free. Now this is a battle. Hyperburn Caffeine Free fat metabolism is better. It has more carnitine across multiple sources, and it has GBB, which is one of the suggestions that I had for the Rule 1 Lean formula. It's better from a fat metabolism perspective. Hyperburn Caffeine Free metabolic output and thermogenesis is also better. It has synephrine in there, which is one of the ingredients that I recommended adding to Rule 1 Lean to boost that effect. It also has the Capsi Max, and it has the Grains of Paradise as well. So there's a whole lot going on. So I think that that effect is also better in the Hyperburn Caffeine Free. When it comes to feeling of well-being, mood, and mental focus, there's really nothing in Hyperburn that does this at all. They've dashed some Huperzine A, but Huperzine A really does nothing significant if it's not combined with choline, and they forgot the choline. So I'm actually going to give it, even though it's not much of an effect in Rule 1 Lean, I'm going to give the nootropic effect to Rule 1 Lean when it comes to that feeling of well-being. Honest Hyperburn appetite suppression, nowhere near as good. That's the one thing that Rule 1 Lean just smashes everything on, is the appetite suppression effect. So I think Hyperburn, better for fat metabolism, better for metabolic output and thermogenesis, not as good for nootropic effect, definitely not as good for appetite suppression. Only comes in 2 flavors, the Hyperburn Caffeine Free, not particularly good tasting, and because of the added, the big dose of Capsi Max in particular, plus the synephrine in there, it's quite a spicy, the flavors are quite spicy, so they're definitely not as pleasant to drink as the Rule 1 Lean. Definitely could not have smashed that. My mouth would be on absolute fire. Same price, Hyperburn Caffeine Free, for the same number of serves. So I think if you stack these two up against each other, it really comes down to what's more important to you. The fat metabolism, the thermogenesis, probably go the Hyperburn Caffeine Free. If it's the appetite suppression, the overall experience, and that nootropic effect, you probably go the Rule 1 Lean. Who is the Rule 1 Lean best for? Look guys, it's gonna be any of you who are in the market for an effective stim-free fat burner that tastes incredible, that you can smash just like that and crushes your appetite. And from a stim-free fat loss perspective, if you're in a caloric deficit, is actually going to support additional fat loss. Price and value for money, last up. $79 in the Australian marketplace for 30 full serves. It comes out at $2.67 per serve. Doesn't matter how you cut that. That is exceptional value for money for a complete stim-free fat burner. Guys, that is MJ's raw review on the all new Rule 1 Lean. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MJ Fitness YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on whatever device you are watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new raw reviews and everything else we've got happening on the channel. That is MJ's raw review on Rule 1 Lean in the house. And I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au.